Hey there, market watchers. Ready for today's lineup? We're spotlighting the stocks generating buzz through major deals, unexpected earnings, and significant investments this May 6th.
Absolutely. Seems like there's a lot of action today. Let's dive right into these companies making headlines.
First up, we have Computer Age Management Services Limited, or CAMS. They reported a 14.7% year-over-year revenue growth for Q4 2025.
That's pretty solid growth, especially considering they maintained approximately 68% AUM share. Their unique investor base also crossed 4 crore, which is a 26% year-over-year increase.
Wow, that's impressive. So what's driving this growth? Is it just more people investing, or something else?
Well, their non-MF revenue increased by 15.8% year-over-year, which now comprises a larger portion of their total revenue. It seems like they're diversifying and that's paying off.
Okay, next we have DCM Shriram Limited. Their financial year 2025 consolidated PAT increased by 35% year-over-year.
Yeah, and their consolidated net revenue rose 11% to 12,077 crore rupees for financial year 2025. Plus, their Q4 PAT grew 52% year-over-year. Not bad at all.
What's making them grow so quickly?
Strategic capacity additions, cost efficiency, and product innovation are key, apparently. They even commissioned some major chemical projects and a CBG project.
That sounds like a recipe for success. Next on our list is OneSource Specialty Pharma Limited.
Right. OneSource Specialty Pharma reported Q4 financial year 2025 revenue of 4,260 million, a 22% year-over-year increase.
And their EBITDA grew 79% year-over-year. Is that sustainable?
Well, their financial year 2025 revenue amounted to 14,449 million, a 30% year-over-year increase, so they're definitely on a growth trajectory. Securing 39 new RFPs licensing deals should help keep that momentum going too.
That's great. What about Unicommerce eSolutions Limited?
Unicommerce reported a massive 70.6% year-over-year increase in Q4 financial year 2025 revenue. Plus, their adjusted EBITDA nearly doubled.
Almost doubling EBITDA is incredible. Can you break down their annual numbers too?
Sure. For financial year 2025, their revenue increased by 30.1% year-over-year, and their adjusted EBITDA increased by 56.3% year-over-year. Their annual recurring revenue is also looking strong.
Impressive. Seems like they're on a roll. Moving on, we've got Hind Rectifiers Limited.
Yes. Hind Rectifiers reported a 96% year-over-year increase in PAT for Q4 financial year 2025 and a 197% increase for the entire year.
Wow. Nearly a 200% jump in profit. What's behind that?
Their order book stood at 893 crore rupees as of March 2025, driven by railway sector expansion. Plus, they're investing in new subsidiaries for IT/AI and power solutions. That should help future growth.
That makes sense. Let's switch gears to the financial sector with Jammu and Kashmir Bank Limited.
Right. They reported a 17.83% year-over-year increase in annual net profit for financial year 2025, reaching a record high.
That's fantastic. What else is contributing to their success?
Their total deposits and net advances both increased significantly, and they've managed to decrease their gross NPA ratio. Their capital adequacy ratio is also looking healthy.
Gotcha. It seems like things are looking up for them. Next, we've got Epigrel Limited.
Epigrel's PAT for Q4 2025 rose by 13%, which isn't too shabby.
Is that the main highlight?
Well, their financial year 2025 revenue increased by 33%, driven by volume growth. Plus, the board proposed a final dividend of 3.5 rupees per share. Also, they have announced expansion plans for their CPages, VC resin and epichlorohydrin capacity.
So more growth and dividends? Sounds good to me. Time for a change of pace. PVP Ventures Limited.
PVP Ventures made an interesting move, acquiring Optimus Oncology Private Limited.
What's the deal with this acquisition?
They acquired a significant number of equity shares, making Optimus Oncology a subsidiary. Could be a strategic play in the oncology space.
Interesting. Let's move to Synoris Pharmaceuticals Limited and Wockhardt Limited.
Synoris Pharmaceuticals acquired an ANDA for topiramate HCl tablets from Wockhardt.
How big is this market?
The US market for topiramate tablets is valued at approximately $111.47 million. Synos funded the acquisition using proceeds from its IPO, so it's a pretty big deal for them.
That's a smart use of IPO funds. Now Glenmark Pharmaceuticals Limited has some news.
Yes, Ichnos Glenmark Innovations ISB 2001 received Fast Track designation from the FDA.
What does this designation mean?
It's for treating relapsed or refractory multiple myeloma. Basically, it can speed up the review process, which is huge for getting new treatments to patients faster.
That's really positive news. Let's switch gears to Indian Energy Exchange Limited.
IEX reported a 26% year-over-year increase in electricity traded volume for April 2025.
Is their green market growing too?
Absolutely. Green market volume grew by 95% year-over-year in April. It seems like renewable energy trading is really taking off.
That's fantastic news for the renewable sector. Our next headline involves ONGC, Shell, and Reliance Industries Limited.
They completed India's first offshore facilities decommissioning project. A pretty landmark event.
That sounds like a massive undertaking.
It was. Involved removing facilities and plugging 38 wells. It also helped shape India's regulatory framework for these kinds of projects.
Definitely an important step for the industry. Moving on. Power and Instrumentation Gujarat Limited has some news.
PIGL secured a 21.41 crore rupees contract from Nyati Engineering and Construction.
What are they doing with the contract?
It's for electrical work at Udaipur Air Terminal in Rajasthan. Includes design, supply, installation and commissioning. Seems like a solid win for them.
That's great for their portfolio. Let's check out Fortis Healthcare Limited.
Fortis Hospitals Limited received a rectification order regarding income tax.
What does that mean?
Basically, the tax demand was reduced from 89.53 crore rupees to nil. So good news for them.
Huge relief, I'm sure. Next is Cyient Limited, and it looks like it's not great news.
Cyient Incorporated received a penalty order from the IRS for not providing enough coverage to their full-time employees in the US.
Oh, how much is the penalty?
It's $26,779.74. They're seeking cancellation of the penalties, so let's see how that plays out.
Yeah, definitely something to keep an eye on. Okay, let's move on to Pratap Snacks Limited.
Pratap Snacks reported income from operations of 4,006 million rupees for Q4 financial year 2025.
Were the results good?
Well, they recommended a dividend of 10%, but their PAT included a post-tax exceptional loss, so it's a bit of a mixed bag.
I see, something to dig deeper into. What about Muthoot Microfin Limited?
Muthoot Microfin got an ESG score of 72.2 and a CareEdge ESG 1 rating.
That's a strong rating, right?
Absolutely. It places them among India's ESG leaders in financial services. Plus, they're targeting net zero emissions by 2040, so they are serious about sustainability.
Good for them. Next up, Sadhana Nitrochem Limited.
Sadhana Nitrochem confirmed no deviation in the use of rights issue proceeds.
What's the takeaway here?
Basically, they're saying they use the funds as planned and the auditors have no issues. It's all about transparency and compliance.
Got it. Next, Escorts Kubota Limited has some news.
Escorts Kubota received an order regarding concessional duty benefits, but it's not all good news.
What's the issue?
The order confirms a demand and penalty totaling 38,15,014 rupees each. They intend to appeal though.
Let's hope they have a strong case. On to First Source Solutions Limited.
First Source Solutions appointed Shamita Mukherjee as Chief Human Resources Officer.
What's her background?
She's coming from Infosys, bringing over 3 decades of experience. They are looking to enhance workforce strategies.
Sounds like a strategic hire. Next, we have GMM Pfaudler.
GMM Pfaudler appointed Gregory Gelhaus as Chief Transformation Officer.
What will he be doing?
He'll be leading transformation efforts, focusing on business expansion and operational efficiencies. He'll be based in Switzerland apparently.
Interesting. Let's look at RateGain Travel Technologies Limited.
RateGain appointed Deepak Kapoor as Chief Technology Officer and Rohan Mittal as Chief Financial Officer.
New leadership, huh?
Yup, Rohan Mittal is succeeding Tanmaya Das as CFO and will assist with the transition until June 30th. It's all about gearing up for the future.
Sounds like they're preparing for growth. Last but not least, Veranda Learning Solutions Limited.
Veranda Learning Solutions appointed Saurani Pathan Mohsin Khan as CFO.
Any other key changes?
Yes, they also appointed Abhinaya Kalpati as Assistant General Manager Marketing. These appointments seem to reflect their focus on leadership development.
Well, that wraps up our daily stock watch list for May 6th. Quite a few companies making moves. It's always good to stay informed.
Definitely. And remember, folks, disclaimer, we advise investors to check with certified experts before taking any investment decisions.
Absolutely. Do your own research. And if you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more daily updates.
Right. Hit that like button and tell your friends. See you next time.